Once again, it is the Real Talk with Dom and the lovely Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry we've been on a little hiatus. Just a little one, not a biggie. Not a biggie, but a little one. Sam's been busy knitting. I've been busy with school.
Crocheting! I've been crocheting, not knitting. There's a difference. Knitting, you use 2 needles. Crocheting, you use 1. And the crochet needle is a hook, not a needle.
Okay. See, we got the lesson from the day from the old cat woman herself. Sam.
Actually, Hubble's doing pretty well, thanks. She got spayed, though. So no more baby kittens.
And for me, it's just Metal Gear Solid and schoolwork. And thinking about topics for the show.
And meetings. We've both been going to meetings lately for different things.
That's love. That's it's a funny thing when you have any sort of disability of anything. But when you have a physical one and you're all there in the brain, it kind of is one of those things where you get annoyed with it. Because, you can comprehend what's going on and people just kind of they want to put their 2 cents in, but they don't live the life. And I think that's the biggest thing, and one of the biggest things I still have to struggle with is not trying to come across as a person that's like, I want to strangle you all the time, or just smack you stupid. I really want to smack people who are stupid. No, because I want to knock sense back in them, so I want to smack them smart, not stupid. But I think that's the one thing I kind of struggle. We struggle with everything. Everybody struggles with something or other. But I think the common thing is control. I talked to my friend, and she was talking about how she felt like she just wants the option to go out and do something. But she wants to go out and like party or go out to have a couple of drinks at the bar when she has staff. And she's like, I got younger staff just for that. But my younger staff act like old people, and they don't really do that. So,
they don't allow her to go out?
Well, it's not that. She just can't find no one to work the hours which she wants to go out, which she got younger staff for the simple fact. And I was, I feel her on that one, I think a lot of times we just want the option because we never get an option.
Well, the thing is, like, I could go out right now and be totally fine. But, like, I want to go to my friend's Halloween party. And I don't think I'm going to go because it's in the cities. And that's a ways away. Like an hour plus. But, like, I totally would go if I could. Like,
but you understand the option, you know what I'm saying? Some
yeah,
people,
like,
they grow up with no option because they have to do what it is to.
Oh, like, no, I get it because, like, when I was younger, like, I couldn't go out and I couldn't do anything on my own, and my parents were really protective.
So, like, the option thing is cool because that's one of the reasons. Like, you move out and you kind of get that. You get the option to say no or yeah, even if you don't want to go to a party, even if you want to go to it and you don't feel like dealing with them people, you can be like, my body's not acting right today. Normally it was like, I can't even ask my mom because I can't get a car, or I can't, your friends think they're going to have to push you around the whole day. You want the option to be like, nope, I got this person, I'm paying, X amount of dollars an hour, and they they're okay with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's a big thing, and I know a lot of us are control freaks in some aspect of our life.
Well, okay, the thing is, I don't know a lot about staff, and I probably never will, but, so if you need to know about staff, you're going to have to hit up Dom. That's just how it is. But I think the issue with us being a control freak is kind of we have to be. Because if we aren't, people are going to manipulate and try to control us. And that's never a good situation.
Well, yeah, like, I'm a control freak. It might not seem like it to most people because I kind of live by my own whatever I feel like at the moment. But when it comes to finances or anything regarding that nature of my life, I'm pretty my way or the highway.
I mean, in a sense, I would say independent. Like, I'm pretty independent too. I balance my own money. I make sure everything is paid for. It's just like, if you don't take control of your life, somebody else is going to, and then it's going to annoy the hell out of you.
Yeah, and everybody seems like to me, even with the best intentions, has some ulterior motive to gain. But I think that's the one topic that will be the common thread throughout this show is control and just freedom, because I think those are two things that everybody strives for, but can never obtain in some way.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I'm working on moving out, which is an adventure on its of its own. Like, I have my degree, but I moved back home with my parents because I financially couldn't afford to live on my own. Well, it's gonna be interesting. I'm like trying to get a job and trying to move out, and been doing that for a couple of years. It's an interesting adventure. It's an interesting stage of life, is what I should say.
Man, you telling me, man? To me right now, I'm just trying to get through this school semester stuff and make friends and make my own little universe for myself. Like, I have one already, but I want to expand upon it because, I just want to venture out more and get to meet new people and smell some new air and whatever else, comes with the metaphors in that lane. And because I think a true advocate, a true body of work, a true artist of any sort has to gain more experience through life, and therefore its art and its purpose is greater. And I really did sound very profound right there, and I'm proud of that.
Are you dumb? Oh.
But yeah, I was just telling her about my friend about how I deal with staff like that, because sometimes I run into the people and they want to Jedi mind trick a brother, like, you know what I'm saying? Just, oh, these aren't the droids you're not looking for, And really, you're like, oh, I want to go out and hang out. No, you don't. It's not that get out. Yo, I want to go hang out. No, it's not. Listen.
Well, there's gonna be people in your life that are gonna be like, no, you don't want that, and because they have like the best intentions for you, but in reality, they don't know what you want.
Nah, man. Most people I know that they don't want to just go through the hassles of life. Most people run a race. You ever look at life like since I sit my ass down 17 hours a day out the day, I perceive life a certain way. And I realized the reason I didn't have a normal teenage development wasn't the fact that I wasn't sure, but it was kind of the fact that I wasn't sure. The reason I say it wasn't because I would have made decisions based on logic most time, based on my personality. It would have been outgoing. But another part of my personality is that I didn't have time to run around and just move my feet and then bump into shit and keep on moving. Most people go through life, and I'm going to say this with the most calm, collected, not hater way of saying anything. And if you don't like my language, you can go watch a different show, listen to a different show. But most people go through life bumping into shit and then saying, oh, my bad. When you are physically disabled or disabled by any means, you sit and chest move that shit out. There isn't one move I've made in my entire life that I didn't think out halfway through, or a full 2 to 3 moves ahead, which is annoying because you date a group. Like, for me, when I date a woman, if they don't have a plan, I'm kind of lost. You're like, well, you date somebody. You don't need a plan. No, I'm not talking about marriage and kids. I'm talking about basic, what do you do? What do you want to do with your life?
You're talking about basic everyday life goals that everybody should have. Like, where do you want to be
in 5 years.
ultimately.
That whole question, where do you want to be in 5 years? I say I don't want to be a bald, fat, lonely old man in 5 years. You know what? Good for you. I said that when I was in high school. I didn't want to be a dude with my hand out on the corner begging for change. These are things that I strive for. This is the choice that I wanted to make. I couldn't go through like just bumping uglies and saying, "Oh, my bad." I didn't have that option. Most people get the option to bump through shit and either face some consequences, live through them, or breeze by like they're running back, dodging tackles. Oh, my metaphor game is on point tonight, people. I love this.
Oh, yeah, you do, but, you know, we'll have to take it down a notch every once in a while. Anyway.
Yeah, like everybody takes a bump and everybody's gonna take a hit, but most people run through life. Like, I look at my younger siblings, I look at, other people around me, and they're doing way more reckless stuff than I would even imagine doing. Like, I imagine doing it, but then that's like, think about, could my body recover? Man, I can't be burning bridges like that. I can't be treating people like that because I need people to help to survive. Like, I don't know, but
Well, the thing is, like, when you're talking goals, everybody has their own way of they set up their goals. Like, for me, I don't exactly know what I'm going to be doing in 5 years, but, like, I have a long-term career goal. And, like, I have a place I want to be, within, I don't know, within my life, shall we say. And, I'd also like to have a few kids, but, like, I haven't purposely planned every move out down to the day. I don't know if Dom has, but, like, I don't set yearly markers for myself anymore.
nah, I try not to set yearly markers. Cause I always feel like for me it's more of a long term, like you'll be there eventually, but you like. Hold on, I gotta put people. Oh. Yeah, I think for me most of the time it's just one of those things where you look at it and you just kind of gotta go with the flow.
Well, if you,
I have an idea where I want to go and where I want to be, but
if you plan out things too much, then you get disappointed that you're not reaching these goals by a certain landmark in time. And reality, I think life's kind of about how you do it and where you end up. You have goals in making or trying to make yourself the person you want to be. Like, you have a mindset of which this is who you want to be, and this is the life you want to live, and this is how you want people to perceive you. And, like, that's something that everybody should strive for, but, like, that takes time. You can't just wake up and be like, so I'm gonna be this person.
And the funny thing is that I'm very much the person that wakes up and says, oh, well, I guess I'm going to go do this. And I set out to do it, which is weird because I know not a lot of people do that. I know even with the way I create music or any type of visual, Sam can tell you, I wake up some days and be like, yo, we're going to do this now. And she's like, what? I'm like, and she's like, how do you think about it? I was like, well, I figured out in my head before I told you this that we could do it this way, and hopefully it works. And then she'll be like, I don't know. And then I give it about a month, and she'll be like, all right, let's do it. Because that's how the show came about. Because the show came about from an idea that I had.
Yeah, it was Dom's idea.
We had an idea about having MTV, because we both wanted to travel on the road. That we shoot a little small webcam interview, like we're selling ourselves, and
I still don't know about that idea, but hey.
And we were like trying to get MTV to pay for it, because, you know, MTV likes to put bull crap on, so why don't they put some bull crap on, and then we get paid for it and travel the world. Hey, I'll exploit myself to travel the world for a little bit. Give disabled people a nice vision of some craziness. That's what I'm about. But she is definitely right about, you know, I think life is just a sum of experiences.
That's a good way to put it. Yes.
I told somebody one day, I was on a random chat, and this guy was high as hell, but he asked a good question. He was like, "What's the meaning of life?" And I was like, I think pretty much to pass on knowledge to the next generation. So whatever you fucked up at in life, you pass it on to the next generation. They don't try to make the same mistakes. Even though history has a way of repeating itself, maybe the blows won't be that bad, or maybe that person's wise enough to see the traps and the footholes. Or as I like to say, the big potholes in the road that make your wheels stop.
See, no, in a sense, like, I think everybody needs to learn from their past. Their past teaches them, you know, great things. It's probably why I'm so obsessed with, like, the American presidents and, like, that part of the country, because I am. But I don't know. I guess I look at it more as, who do you want to be remembered as? Not what you're trying to leave for somebody else, but who do you want to be?
And I look at it a whole different way. I'm like, well, I was here. I could honestly say that I want to be remembered as a kick-ass person that kicked lots of ass. You know, a guy that really just did his own thing, and I embody that in my everyday, regardless if I'm doing what I exactly want to do with my life or not. Because that's just the mindset, and that's the way I carry myself. The sum of experiences, though, I want to have enough experiences where when I reach a certain age in life, you know, everybody has regrets. Nobody lives with no regrets, because somebody always going to regret something. But I want to live with so many non-regrets that my regrets are so small that I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want any regrets. Like, I want to live my life the way I want to live it and enjoy every minute of it, instead of being like, oh, I wish I would have made this decision. Because in reality, you just have to make strategic decisions to get you to the place you want to be.
That, and, you know, not all great decisions when you make in your certain age is the greatest. You find out later not the greatest option. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the sum of experiences. Like, you look at our parents, you look at people's parents. And people's parents could be the greatest in their eyes or a piece of crap, right? And so, like, some people strive not to be like the people that they know. Other people strive to be like the people that they know but better. And so...
See, the thing is, you pick up on things from the people you're around. Be it the culture that you live in and the place that you live. Like, you have an accent based on where you live, not based... You might not even have the same accent as your parents because they grew up somewhere else. Because when it comes down to it, the outer influences are a lot more stronger than just your mom and dad affecting you. I mean, they do affect you and they do shape you, and you do have pivotal family members, I would say, that really strike a core with you and really do influence your mannerisms. Like, I have a ton of my mother's mannerisms, but the thing is, you become the sum of every experience that you've interpreted, and those experiences you have are not the same experiences as your parents or even your siblings. Like, you have the same background, or you grew up in the same place, or even the same house, but you make different decisions in life. Like, I moved away for 5 years and went to school, and I met a whole different subculture of people, and the way I view things is completely different than my younger brothers. And that's okay. Like,
It's funny because my brothers are, their viewpoints are, I used to think were different than mine. I started to say, my middle brother and I, we have the same mannerisms, body language, and
you pick it up from the people you're around.
yeah, body language and understanding of the universe. And it's some, which is odd because when they were younger, they were like, "You're such the weird dude," but now that they're older, they understand. They have a better understanding of why their brother's so weird.
They get it.
They get it. They don't really, it's not their deal. But it was so funny. I sat around with my brother the other day, and my staff was looking at both of us because we were talking about something, and they're like, "Man, the way your brother moves in the crowd is exactly how you move in the crowd." I was like, he should have, because he's been around. I take them places that I would go. My experiences with things have been a little more intense, or not intense in a dangerous way, but you walk across some strange folks in some strange lands, like a good one is, like you said, your friends and whatnot will shape your experiences. I've always had all my friends have a core. Their core being is exactly the same in lots of ways than mine, and it's not that we have mutual interest. Like, we cannot like the same thing, but we could deal with each other because our moral values and the way we perceive friends are the same. So like, I cannot have, like, I have friends where people go, "Well, how are you friends with that person?" I'm like, "Man, when we like to eat, we like women or something like that. It'll be basic. It'll be really basic. Like, oh, like, oh, I met him at the grocery store. We bought the same pack of chicken. You know, we discussed how we cooked it." But
See, I guess the best thing to do is to try to find something in common with everyone and build off that. If you can build off that in a way where you can have continuous conversations and you're curious about learning about their lives and where they want to go and what's important to them, then that friendship is going to work out. Now, if you're so self absorbed that it's all about you all the time and you're like, well, I want to do this, and well, I'm interested in this, but you have no interest in them, then it becomes acquaintances or people you socialize with, but they're not really your true friends.
yeah, and I think that's another reason. Brings up another good point. We talk the way we build this show is we talk about points in the disabled community, as long with natural human things, because we're all human at the end of the day. Aliens are out there though, so if any aliens are listening to the show,
I don't know about that, Dom. I don't know about the aliens.
hey, the truth is out there. The X Files taught us that.
Didn't watch the X Files. I watched like a couple episodes, and I was like, well, yep, okay.
Well, for me, what did you say other than the X Files? Okay. I think it leads into a good point that people in our situation, I think we feel deeply. I think that's a way to. It's an innate trait and an ability that some higher power of some genetic something or other, for those who believe in that, put here to keep us safe. Like you said, you want to find a basic thing to make a basic friendship, to connect on some level. I think every human wants to connect. I think that's why there's a lot of problems today in this world, is because people don't have the time to connect. Like, we connect on social media, but that's not really connecting. Like, I'd rather have a face to face. I'd rather look at you in the eye and be like, am I pissing this person off? Yes, I can stay away from that topic, then okay. And, test the waters out like that. Or feel their energy in a room. And I think that's a lot of things is connecting. And it comes down also, once again, to choices. Sometimes when we're in this place, we feel like we didn't have a choice. It was either feel like a burden to our family, which also comes down to connecting,
That's never fun.
or go do what you gotta do, which also comes down to what people, the topic of tonight, connecting. And so, I just
Motorcycle out the window. Yeah, okay, I get sidetracked.
Nah, it's fine. And I just love how this show goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, was choices and connecting.
Okay, like, when Dom says that the show is based off disability, I don't know. Honestly, it's kind of based off mine and Dom's lives. Okay, so that is, like, thrown in there because, like, that's an evident part of our lives. But in reality, that's not, like, every aspect of our everyday lives. So we talk about a lot more broader subjects, shall we say. I think our viewpoint is different than some because of our situation, but in reality, we're just talking about everyday, boring, what happens.
Pretty much what happened, why. But I like to keep it back to the people so they can understand that everybody goes through this. Everybody goes through this. That's something I have to remind myself all the time. Especially, I'm 25 years old. Everybody I know that's almost either are married or done with school or have a job, have some kids, doing crazy shit still, and I'm like, I'm like Steamboat Willie over there. Just keep chugging along down the river of life. Eventually, I'll stop for some food.
Well, and like, I'm 24, okay? And I do have my degree, but I don't have a steady job or like a place of my own yet. But I don't know, like, some of my friends are in my situation. It's kind of, but a lot of people my age are married or have kids. Like, a lot of people I went to high school with. Not so many people I went to college with, but people I went to high school with. Definitely. There's some people that I hung out with in college that are married and have kids, but not very many.
High school people, they went to college, out of college, married, in the street, out the street, doing something. But, like, to me, it's just like, my vision was I was either going to be working in radio by now or doing whatever.
See, the thing is, you can't, here's a good point. You can't plan out your life perfectly because if you look at situations, things get thrown out there. Like, when I went into college, I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. Okay, maybe I'll be a scientist because, well, I'm good at science. And fast forward, what are we, like 7 years later? And I'm like, not a scientist. Don't even have a degree in science. So you can't pre-plan things like that.
Nah, I just figured.
You gotta, like, take life as it comes. And don't get me wrong, some people, like, dreamed of being something from the time they were a little kid and then end up getting a degree in it and end up doing that for the rest of their lives and are, like, madly in love and happy with their careers and happy with the decisions because they pre-planned it.
I can tell you, for instance, all I dreamed about doing was creating comic books and being a scientist and building robots. And then radio and stuff like that was a dream, but it was an obtainable dream. And I don't care if I'm, like, old and gray, because I'll probably have, like, the coolest old and gray show ever.
See, I didn't even know, like, this genre existed, to be honest.
I don't know, and I like it. I like dealing with Sam. Like, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get it. Like, I like dealing with Sam in this show so much because like, at first she was like really just. If you go back and listen to the first show, she's super uptight. Like, she can't. Like, air can barely come in and out that mouth. And sucking in her air and not letting it go. But now she's more relaxed. So it's able to, we're able to give you a show that's our lives. We're giving you what we perceive. And if you ever want to talk about it, I'm glad you can email us, hit us up at, such things and comment. Please cheer on. And why she's the voice of reason, I'm the descent into madness, and let's just call it a day.
Well, the thing is, I'm sure you guys have picked up by now. Dom mentioned it. That's just my personality. Like, I am pretty reserved right away. Give me some time, and you'll see what you see. But that's just how I am. Like, that's how I am in my everyday life, which is... One of my best friends told me that she's like, I never thought we would be friends. Because, like, when I met you, you were, like, on a mission. Like, I thought you were angry. And you weren't. It's just, like, I had to work up the courage to talk to you. And then when I finally did, I was like, oh. I'm like, am I really that scary? And she's like, yeah, you are. And I'm like, okay.
It's kind of funny thing about it. Like, I've always been me. I just kind of dial it back for people sometimes, depending on the group of people I'm with. If I'm with the extreme, my shout out to my nerd crew, my comic book club, to those guys. If I'm with the gamers, if I'm with those guys, oh, it's 100% me at full speed. My friend Kenny and his boyfriend, Paul. He calls me a savage all the time. He says, "Dom the savage with no chills." I was like, "What, no chills?" He's like, "No chills, Dom. You just say whatever the hell you want to say when you want to say." I'm like, "Man, listen, Ken, I like you. I have no chills. I'm okay with that."
I think the thing is, Dom is more openly outspoken. I think we're both outspoken, but Dom is just more openly, like, outspoken, in your face. Like, he's gonna take charge, where I'm like, I'm gonna sit back and assess the situation for 5 minutes before I,
See, and I assess the situation, but I can do it in such a way that I'm quick with it.
Yeah, and whereas I'm like...
Because, like, I read body language before I read... Like, I don't look at people's faces. I hate looking at faces. Faces are deceiving. Real deceiving. Faces are the most deceiving part of a person's body. You can lie through a face, but you can't lie through a body.
See, I like to sit back and watch the situation where Dom just wants to... He wants to throw himself into the situation. Yes, like cutting me off. Yep, he's gonna cut. Oh, you know it, Dom. Like, I gotta put you in your place sometimes. Like, we talk about this. It's totally okay. Like, that's just how our relationship is. Like, I was crocheting when we started talking, and then I ended up turning on my Xbox. Mind you, my Xbox hadn't been turned on in like months. Months.
Baby needs dust. Like, it's dusted up. Need to get undusted. I felt sorry for her because I'm sitting right here next to my Xbox controller. Like, I need to display that thing.
And now it's like paused on Saints Row, but like,
yeah. So yeah, that's our relationship in the sense that she's really just like, she's outspoken and she's really, really funny. Like, she'll crack 1,000 jokes per minute, but the minute we get a mic in her mouth, near her mouth, she's just like. So with me, it's kind of the opposite. You get a mic in my face, I go right into character mode, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
You do.
in my everyday, it's kind of like it's this level, but it's like not as wound high enough. Like there's lots of days where Sam will talk to me like, oh, I'm just cool. Like, tell me, alright, yeah, I'm cool, like I'm good. And she's like, you're not jumping at the walls. You haven't said nothing crazy in like an hour. And I'm like, well, just give me a minute here. Thinking of something.
I guess the way you see Dom on the mic and the way you see myself on the mic, we're the same. It's just, I don't know. Like, I listen to these conversations back when I edit them, and I'm like, this is just a conversation. Like, this is just a conversation. It's nothing else but a conversation that we're having. It's kind of funny. I mean, we leave out some personal details for privacy's sake, but like that we wouldn't leave out when we were just talking. But it's just a conversation, if that makes any sense.
But it's also a choice. And that's how we lead that way back into the topic. It's always just a choice. And, you know, it's great to see this go on. I'm happy that people laugh at it. People love it. People love her more than love me, which is...
See, Dom's been getting more feedback than I have, so I have no idea how these are going, but...
People love her more than love me. I know, it's sad, right? But it's okay.
How? How can they love me more than they love you? Like, this makes no sense.
They do. They feel like you got a lot more going on. See, a lot of people are like, it's dumb.
I don't have a lot more going on. My life's kind of boring at the moment.
Hey, man, Metal Gear. Hey, I'm kind of... Actually, people, I'm very sad. Because Hideo Kojima really did leave Konami. You know, all I got out of him was a Metal Gear Solid 5 and not Silent Hill. Which is
As I roll my eyes.
As she rolls her eyes. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 37 minutes into the show.
Is it really?
Nice. Yeah. So,
are we cutting this one short too tonight?
I think so.
The last one we posted was 30 minutes. To be honest, we have no set schedule for how long these are.
We're about 40. We usually do it depending on the topic.
No, they've been about an hour.
Pretty much
until the last one.
So like 30 minutes to an hour. It depends on what we feel like talking about. And I'm starting to run out of hot air because, you know.
Dom's running out of air? Really? But we didn't tell them about Dom's bursted pipe situation.
Oh, yeah. That sucks. I'll talk about that next show. Because I got to tell you how to fight. I got to figure out how to fight for it properly. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll definitely talk about my bursted pipe situation, because the pipes did burst. I'm not talking metaphorically. They really did burst in my apartment.
Yeah, he lives in an apartment building, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks, and people of all ages and ethnicities, this is the real talk with Dom and the lovely Sam, and we're out.
Good night, everyone.